Here we go. Spoiler alert, audience. And good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Thursday edition of The Jason Show at Home. I'm Jace. Welcome to my house. Welcome to my home in the North Loop of Minneapolis. And thank you so much for the great response to Tuesday's show. Our first show back in about a month. I greatly appreciate it. The staff appreciates it. It's good to be back. It really is. And I hope, I really do. I hope this show offers a little slice of normalcy, whatever that word is, a little slice of happiness for you as the weeks roll on, as we all are in this together. So I really hope that that's what our show does. Again, a reminder, we will have brand new shows on Tuesdays and Thursdays with best ofs on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So let's start. You know, I always like to tell you a good story right off the top of the show, whether we're in the studio or here in my podcast studio. This is a story / little shout out, a good shout out. Y'all know that everyone's doing takeout now. Everyone, you know, it's a great way to support local restaurants, good way to support local businesses. A lot of restaurants are adapting to the takeout model. Chains are doing it. Local mom and pop shops are doing it. I want to give a shout out to a chain, and that is the OG, the Olive Garden. Y'all know I love the Olive Garden. Last week, we decided to try to do something nice for my in-laws, Mom and Papa Haas. I said, let's bring them Olive Garden. Papa Haas loves Olive Garden, as do I. So we ordered the takeout from the Coon Rapids Olive Garden. Very easy. The interface, very easy. We ordered. It gave you a specific time to show up. I volunteered to go get it. You know, I like my alone time. So I got in the little family truckster. I head down to the Coon Rapids Olive Garden. I get there about 5 minutes earlier than my allotted time. And as I pull in, I'm looking at the rows and rows of cars. This is a Friday night, very busy. Usually the night, you know, families go out to eat anyway. And I was amazed at the system that they have in place. The servers have turned into kind of food runners. And it seemed like each person had a different section of the parking lot. And they come up to you, roll down your window like a drive-in from the 50s. You tell them your name, you show them your order number, and then they bring you the food. Now, I will tell you, I felt really bad for the staff because I waited about 40 minutes realistically. But you know me, I said this. I said this on one of our Facebook live shows. And it's a good reminder for all of us. And, you know, I can get a little prickly about things about this, like this. It's a good reminder. I packed my patience, as the cliche said, because everybody is just doing the best they can. So though I was sitting there for an inordinate amount of time in my car, I read a lot. I didn't get snippy. I just smiled because the staff is running around. But as I'm sitting there, more and more and more rows of cars showed up. And I'm like, this is fantastic. And I was thinking, I really hope that these folks are getting tipped, and I hope that the business is doing well. But I was amazed at how many cars were lined up at the Olive Garden on a Friday night. So my point with this is, bravo to all the businesses. I'm using OG as an example, but bravo to all of the businesses that are using this moment to unpack their ingenuity. And to all the staff out there, all of the service industry folks, bravo to you. And to all of the guests, be kind to them. Just pack a little patience. Your food may not be quite as hot, even though ours was, but give them a little bit of grace. All of these restaurants have put these systems into place within the last month, and they're just doing the best they can. So bravo, way to go to our friends at the Olive Garden. Okay, so other than Olive Garden, I've also been running outside. Here's a picture of me in my mask. That's my mask that Alexis made me. E.T., y'all know that I love E.T. It's one of my favorite movies, thanks to Alexis. Now, every time I mention these masks, I think it's important to say, I am aware this is not 100%. It's more about protecting other people from me, just in case, I'm sick or something. I wash it on the regular, but every time I talk about this on the radio show, nurses, rightfully so, want me to remind everyone these homemade masks are delightful. They're helpful, but they are not foolproof. They should be washed thoroughly or they can actually do more damage. But I thought it was really cute. And that was me running down by the river, which I will say the first couple days of running outside when the weather was nice, unlike this week, I was amazed at how many people were out and about. I was a little overwhelmed. I felt like I was at Disney World. The more the days go on, people are getting better at social distancing. But I was really shocked that first day. I actually felt I got a little anxious because there were way too many people jogging alongside me. Thus the reason I decided to get my mask. Another thing that I've been doing a lot, this. You are looking at my avatar for the video game Animal Crossing. That's my tent. That's the home I had for a couple days. Animal Crossing on Nintendo has become my obsession. And I will get into that. I'm going to name it a best thing ever and talk more about it a little bit later in the weeks ahead. But just know running and Animal Crossing are my two loves. Another one of my loves, I want you guys to see this. This is Biggie. Just like every pet in America, I am spending an inordinate amount of time with Biggie, but you can see this. Biggie is very bored with my presence and was physically, look at him, falling asleep, sitting up. That's Biggie's normal reaction to me. Oh, I love him. Yeah, he was like, please go away. Oh, Biggie. Yeah, it was crazy. He does that now all the time. I don't know. I don't know if the animals are actually happy that we're all home for that long anymore. I think Dexter is actually pretty sick of me at this point, but that's all right. He, that's Dex. One more thing I wanted to show you, another thing trending other than Animal Crossing. And of course, Tiger King, everybody. Tiger King is still hot. We just had the Harvey Levin special on Monday, which I love you, Harvey, but I didn't learn that much. I didn't learn anything really new, but Harvey did a good job with it. If you haven't seen Tiger King, check it out on Netflix. I will say, let me just say this. Every time I mention Tiger King, people think that I am advocating for him, but not liking Carol. Let me be clear. I think both of them are nutter butters. Do I think something nefarious went on in Carol's universe? I don't know. Just going to say. And one more thing that we're all doing. Are you ready for this before we take a break? There's my senior picture. Folks are sharing their senior pictures as a salute to all the seniors out there who won't get a graduation this year and won't get proms and stuff. So, ladies and gentlemen, here is my embarrassing senior year picture with bushy eyebrows and out of control hair. It was really hot in 1992. We're going to take a break. We have so much more ahead, including Jeff, Ted, and Shannon when we return. Back in a moment. And welcome back, everyone, to the Jason Show Home Edition. I'm Jace. Kendall will be joining us next week. Very excited. She's busy doing the Fox 9 Morning News, helping out our crews over there. But she is an esteemed member of our Jason Show family, and we have missed her, and we know you have missed her. I want to hear the audience clapping at home. Ladies and gentlemen, look who it is. It's Shannon, everyone. Hello, Shannon.
Hello.
Can you
huzzah to the Jason Show audience? Huzzah.
Shannon, can you hear the audience clapping in the distance there?
Yes, and I had missed it immensely. Missed it so much. Yeah, good to talk to you, Jace. Good to talk to you.
It's good to talk to you. Good to see you. I've been asking, when people have joined us for the first time since this started, just on a human level, talk to me, my friend. How you doing with all this?
It has its ups and its downs, of course. My son and I are honestly faring very well, all things considered. And so I try to remind myself that we were blessed to be in a situation where we were safe. We were able to easily hunker down and transition into this new normal pretty easily. And that's been a blessing. That part has been okay.
How is Dominic doing?
He's doing well. It's funny. He didn't really like school anyway. So he's fine having mom homeschool him. He's kind of gotten used to, it's been a difficult transition, especially when, it's hard for any family that's dealing with transitioning to doing the homeschool model. But especially, I think, for a lot of families like mine, where you do have a kid that has some sort of disability or a special need, it is a lot of how do I even gather the resources to be able to do some of the things that we did that were speech therapy and occupational therapy, and will those transition to a telehealth session, and how do we get that and assist the therapist if they're on the line and I'm sitting here with Dominic and we're on my tablet trying to help him navigate these sessions. It's been a transition, but it's been a good learning experience, I think, as well.
Okay. A good learning experience for you or Dominic?
Oh, for me. If I would let him tap out, he'd be fine.
Yeah.
He'd be totally fine. But it's been a transition, of course.
Because I was going to say, Shannon, I'm glad that I'm talking to you about this, because you put yourself in other people's shoes, and like you, I feel very lucky. It's just myself and Colin and the dogs, and we have a home. We are still getting a paycheck. We are very blessed and very lucky. We do not have kids. I was thinking about the pressure, Shannon, of not only trying to wrap your own brain around what's going on and deal with it, but also for the parents like you out there, you have to deal with your own mental health with this going on, but you also have to worry about your kid, and you have to explain things about your kid. How are you doing with that?
Better now. I've been doing a lot more, just checking in with my friends a lot more. And I know that they're concerned, and they're trying to make sure that I am trying to not be super mom at this time, when we're probably looking at things that this new normal isn't going to snap back to what we had before anytime soon. So you really have to, you have to figure out a way to stockpile your resources emotionally even. And so I had to get better about going, well, no, it's not going to be from 9 a.m. till 3 p.m. I'm Uber teacher.
Yeah.
There was a team of people that were doing all of these things. It was my job to chauffeur him from school to therapy to speech and all of these things. So it's not fair for me to say, oh, I'm going to be able to do all that stuff that I had all these different, all this assistance doing before. So once I kind of let that go, it's been better.
Yeah.
It's been better.
Okay. Can we have some fun for a moment?
Yeah.
Can we talk about people buying up all the toilet paper and buying up because it's still going on? And
listen,
I knew that I knew you would have something to say about this.
Okay. Normally it would be a joke, but I know I did a lot of research about the toilet paper shortage.
Oh, okay. Okay. I am here for this. Talk to me.
Okay. So here's the thing is that, yes, people are overbuying, but that's not the key problem. The key problem is that the toilet paper mechanism, the way that we manufactured them, was not created to provide this much private use toilet paper.
I love the machines aren't Shannon, I love that you know this. I love that you know this.
I did a lot of research on this because I was just fascinated by this. So what it is if you look at even the manufacturing process, a lot of it was made to create industrial products as well. And now we are not going to the locations where those industrial products are used. We're not going to offices. We're not going to restaurants. We're not even going, so we're not using up the industrial products. We're all of a sudden, there's been a 40% increase in what we need to use at home. So now we're out of toilet paper.
Okay. I got to tell you, all of the directions that I thought this conversation would go when I brought up toilet paper, I never thought it would go in the direction of industrial use, taking that tangent, my friend. You continue to amaze me.
So, Jason, here's what we can do. Some businesses, and not a lot in the Twin Cities, but some businesses across the country have started allowing you to purchase things from them. So like some restaurants were putting together packages where you could buy not only takeout, but you could buy their beef or their vegetables and those things. And there's been some places across the country where they are allowing you to purchase toilet paper.
Yeah.
So I think that's what we have to do as a community, is figure out a way
to do that
we can support those businesses and then we can buy. It's not the good Charmin,
but hey,
but it'll get you there.
Shannon, we have about a minute left. I want to focus on what you're doing. Obviously, performers of all kinds are impacted by this, whether it's performing arts and theaters, stand-up comedians like yourself. In our last few seconds, how are you adapting, and how can folks support you and entertainers during this time?
The best thing is that you can always go to my website. It's missshannon.com, Shannon with an A. Myself and some of my other performers, we've been working on all of our content we can do from home. So our podcast, and I have a big thing coming up on Mother's Day. Every year we do a great Mother's Day show called Comedy Through the Chaos. It's even more appropriate this year. And my team and I, my performers and I, what we've done is we've worked on a way that we're going to be able to make it a live streaming event. We're still going to put on the show. We're going to do a Mother's Day matinee at about 5 p.m. on Mother's Day. You're going to be able to tune into it. You'll get all the details if you go to my website, missshannon.com, or go to Comedy Through the Chaos, our Facebook page. We'll make sure we keep everybody in the know. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I love you. Will you come back and hang with me?
Of course, honey.
Okay.
Anytime.
Okay.
Stay safe. Stay healthy. I love you.
Best to Dominic, and I love your office, by the
Thank
way.
you.
I'm loving seeing everyone's houses. I'm loving the office there.
Thank you very much.
Bye, sweetheart. Miss Shannon,
Bye.
everybody, follow her on social media. We'll put a link on the Jason Show Facebook page as well. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back right after this. And welcome back to the Jason Show, everyone. It's time for some good news, a little good news roundup. Every day on our show, and look, this is what we try to do every day anyway, is to be kind of just a little bright light. You know, we try to just be goofy to make you smile, but we're going to make a real concerted effort every day to bring you just a collection of just feel-good stories. And that's what we're going to do right now. First off, I got to tell you about this grandmother that I'm sure you've seen. She was on the CBS Evening News. I saw her on Fox 9. This grandmother in her 90s, who made a sign that says, "I'm running out of beer," and was holding it in her picture window for passerbys. She was running out of beer. Well, listen to this. Since that story aired across the country, it was picked up all over the place. Coors Light, that's her beer. Coors Light sent her cases of beer. And I got to tell you, the pictures of her holding her beer just made my life, let me tell you. And it also made me think that if my mother-in-law, Mama Haas, was in her 90s and there was a pandemic and she was out of Bud Light, I really hope the Budweiser folks would send her some Bud Light, because I got to tell you, you want to see an unhappy Mama Haas in the apocalypse?
That's okay.
Put her in the apocalypse without some Bud Light. Just saying. Love you, Mama Haas. Another good news story, and I love this. A landlord in New Jersey who owns 12 different buildings in New Jersey is giving all of his tenants the opportunity to not pay rent till July. That's right. He is giving all of them free living, or if they own retail, free rent through July. And I just think that is so tremendous. I know locally, I know of some restaurant owners that, and it's not really my story to tell, so maybe we'll have them on the show to talk about it. But I know of 2 restaurant owners who here locally, their landlords, the folks that own their building where their restaurant is housed, they are not making them pay rent. And what a gift. I mean, how kind. And I know that not every landlord can do that. I'm not bringing this story to put pressure, because everybody is suffering in one way during this crisis. But I just thought that's really nice. So bravo to those landlords that can do this, because I'm telling you, I can imagine the tears. A restaurant customer in Houston left a $1,000 tip on a $19 takeout order. That's right, a $1,000 tip. And there's video of the whole staff in this restaurant cheering, absolutely cheering. I mean, it just makes me think of the story that I told earlier about Olive Garden. If you have the opportunity, if you have the money available, tip what you can. I know, like I said, Colin and I are lucky, very lucky. I don't take it for granted. I still get a paycheck. Colin does too. And so that's why we order a lot of takeout, so that we can help the service industry folks. So I just think it's just a nice thing to do. And finally, someone in Massachusetts spent $5,000 on gift cards so that they could buy they could buy groceries for all of the senior citizens during that first hour, that stores are leaving open only for the most vulnerable, including a lot of seniors. Well, someone bought $5,000 in gift cards, and the staff distributed them across all the customers coming in. How great is that? Tyler Perry did that in Atlanta too. So I love bringing these stories because it's one of those things where just when you start to lose faith in humanity, you hear stories like this. I love it so very much. If you have a good news story that you want me to focus on, go ahead and email us via our Facebook page. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back right after this. Welcome back, everyone. He is our fearless leader. No, not Jeff. It's the other one. The nicer one. Just kidding, Jeff. Love you. Producer Ted is known around the world for his love of Hallmark movies and his love of The Bachelor. And speaking of love, he is up to something new during the quarantine. Ladies and gentlemen, let me hear you clapping from home. Do I hear it? It's producer Ted, everyone. Hello.
Thank you.
Ted, do you hear the people clapping?
They're standing ovation.
They are. It's a standing ovation. Okay. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
It's been a while. Are you married yet? Is that what you're here to tell us?
I am not married. Everyone can rest easy. I'm still on the market.
Still on the market. Okay. You're here actually, though, to actually talk about love and dating. Tinder specifically, what are they doing? Because I was joking a few days ago, every company, and I know you see this, every commercial, has transitioned to a message about the quarantine. Sleep Number beds want you to sleep comfortably in the pandemic, and restaurants are going to takeout. What is Tinder doing? How are they changing their business for the quarantine period?
Well, what they don't want you to do is they don't want you to go on a date with someone right now.
Yeah.
So they send you messages that you should not be going on dates right now. And so what they are doing is they have a premium service usually where you can pick your location. Say if you're going to go on a trip to San Diego.
Yeah.
And, let me set my location as San Diego, a few days before so that maybe you have something set up. That's the idea. I've never done it before. But so they're letting you do this through the month of April, set your location wherever you want to go. So we've done a little international dating.
A little? What do you mean? What do you mean international dating?
So basically, I've changed my location 4 or 5 times this week. So I've met women from Tokyo, Argentina, Peru, Moscow, Iran, and most recently, Siberia.
What? You were chatting with a woman from Siberia?
Yes, and Minnesota is colder than Siberia.
Seriously?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Wait, what do you mean? Like right now, we're actually colder than Siberia?
Yeah, I was like, are you snowing? And what's the temperature? And she was like, oh, we're about 40 degrees. And I was like, oh, we're like 25. So we win.
Okay, so you said, let me see if I want to make sure I understand this. So it allows you to switch locations. So you're not pretending, are you, that you're from these locations?
No, and in my bio, I say something like, Tinder's allowing me to date all over the world. So that's what I'm doing. But they can also see how far away from them I am, which is like 5,000 miles. So some people might not be into that because they might think, oh, here's just another pen pal. Look, yeah. But some of them are. Some of them are like, oh, whatever. It's the Quarantinder.
Okay, we've had Siberia, which one was the most successful so far? Did you have some successful conversations?
Argentina and Peru. I'm doing very well in South America.
Ted is hot in South America. Ted is hot.
Once this is over,
yeah,
this work from home thing, if it takes hold, I might just move to South America. It's the same time zone. I can just write your script there.
Let me get Jeff on the phone to see if that's wow. What do you think it is, Ted? Is it your natural Midwest charm is pulling in the South American women?
I don't know. I don't know because I didn't think I would do too well in South America.
Yeah.
I just didn't think, you know, I don't know if it's the beard or, you know, it's I don't know. I'm pale. I don't tan well. That could be a problem. I did get a lot of matches in Moscow, but that got Jeff really nervous because Jeff's like, you need just be careful.
Yeah, okay. Look, I'm not wearing aluminum foil on my head. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. This perhaps, Ted, is not the best time to be communicating with someone from Russia. I'm just saying, Ted. just a little. I think Jeff's right on this one.
I'm going to keep all of my mother's maiden name to myself, the street I grew up on to myself.
Yeah.
Kind of keep that all close to the vest.
Okay. Was there a total dud? I mean, and you'll be honest, did you strike out in any particular area of the globe, or did you Hindenburg anywhere?
You know, I thought I was going to do better in Tokyo.
Really? Why?
I thought I was going to do better in Tokyo. I don't know. I just feel like I thought that the Japanese women would be drawn to my beard. That's what I thought. And that just doesn't seem to be the case.
Okay, you think it all boils down to the beard, Ted?
Maybe not. Maybe it's something else. I don't know. But then you just pick it up and you move it somewhere else. Iran, I don't know how I'm doing there currently. That's the new one. So we'll see. I don't know.
So do you have to pay for this, Ted?
This is free. This moving it around is free through April, I believe.
On Tinder.
On Tinder. Yeah.
How often are you doing this at night? I mean, how often are you just sitting on the couch watching some Glee and going through Tinder?
What else are we gonna do?
Okay, fair. Okay. You know what? That was a ridiculous question. What else? I'm playing Animal Crossing. Why shouldn't you be on Tinder? I mean, it is.
So they do limit the amount of swipes per day, so you have to be really strategic about how many times you're swiping, so you can kind of space it out, stretch it out.
Yeah.
And not run out of swipes and then have to wait 12 hours because then you're just like, now what am I going to do?
Well, speaking of stretching out, Ted's going to stay right there. We're not done with him because coming up in just a little bit, right after the break, Jeff will be joined by another Hollywood Square member, executive producer Jeff, when we return. Back in a moment. Welcome back to the Jason Show at Home edition. Happy Thursday again. Well, it's time to check in with the boys. And by the boys, I mean grown men who I work with. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome executive producer Jeff and producer Ted, everyone. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
Jeff, would you acknowledge the red owl behind you once again, please?
Just for Phil. Phil requested it.
Phil from the Jason Show fan club. And again, that's an old grocery store brand, right, Jeff?
Correct.
Okay. So this segment is going to be all about what we are watching during the quarantine. The oldest first, Jeff, what are you watching? What are you loving?
Wouldn't that be you there, Mr. Matheson?
Whatever. Oh! An age shot a minute and 45 seconds in.
Okay. Here's what I'm watching, and don't make fun of me. I am, for the third time, rewatching The Good Wife on CBS.
Why would I make fun? That is, you and Colin got me into that. I applaud you, but this is the third go-around?
Third time, and it's still good. Still good.
Okay.
I don't know. I think it's comforting. Like, I know what's going to happen, but I don't care. Just seeing the cases, the judges are my new favorite thing. Like, all of the different judges on the show. And it's just so well acted, and it's perfect.
Jeff, you know how we do it. For people, I mean, everyone probably knows the name. They know what probably was on CBS. They know Juliana Margulies. But for maybe the 7 people that don't know, what's the synopsis? What's it about?
So it starts with her husband cheated on her, and she's starting a new life while her husband's in prison. So she goes back to being a lawyer, joins this law firm with her ex-boyfriend, and that sets off all of the seasons. And I'm almost up to season 3, which becomes the greatest 2 seasons of broadcast TV in decades.
Ever. Now, Jeff is not at all as dramatic as I am, so trust him. Season 4.
True.
Well, I mean, Ted, well,
I have my moments.
Okay, whatever. But season 4 and season 5 of The Good Wife, truly 2 of the best seasons of network. I would say, Jeff, wouldn't you say cable too, just television in general?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so where are you now? Where are you in the quarantine marathon?
I'm almost done with season 2. So season 3 is okay, but it's Kalinda's ex-husband, and I don't really care about that.
Yeah.
I'll still watch every episode.
Ted, have you ever watched The Good Wife?
No. It does look like a show that I would watch, though.
Jeff, don't you think Ted would like The Good Wife?
Yes.
Yeah.
Great acting, great stories, everything.
Yeah. Ted, before we get to your your show, is that Glee on in the background that I see on your television?
It is Glee, and that is the show that I've been watching. One of the shows.
Really?
Because Glee, let me tell you, in this world that we are currently living in, you just need some ridiculousness in your life.
Yeah.
And when I found Glee streaming on Netflix, I was like, well, that's like 6 seasons. I mean, and like the first season was like 25 episodes. I mean, that's...
I have to admit, Ted, and maybe Jeff will chime in here. If there was a bucket of shows in front of me and Glee was in that bucket, I never would have chosen that show for you to enjoy. Jeff, are you surprised by this, Jeff?
I mean, I remember how good the first season of Glee was, and then it was like a huge train wreck from there.
But Ted, you're liking it.
I liked the first couple of seasons. I'm only on season 2 right now, but I liked. It was surprisingly a really good show. You know, the acting was good. It was just like weird humor that you don't expect at weird times. I love high school drama, so I mean that's just full of high school drama. And hey, the singing's good. It's catchy music. It's popular music. It makes me feel good. So it's unexpected, but maybe a little expected.
Okay, so Jeff, where can folks find The Good Wife?
I'm watching it on CBS All Access.
Okay, I've also seen it on Hulu. Ted,
on Hulu.
Where can people find Glee?
Netflix, all the seasons. I've got the Celibacy Club episode playing in the background right now.
Well, a perfect way to end it. Jeff and...
We can all relate to that one.
Yeah, definitely during high school. Jeff and Ted, everybody. We're going to take a break. Stay right there. More when we come back. Welcome back, everyone, to our home edition of The Jason Show. Well, if there's one person in our lives, we consider him family, in The Jason Show family, that knows about isolation, it is our next guest. The minute we started thinking about these home shows, we said, we have to have McCrae on. Please welcome at home. You can hear the clapping. Our good friend, McCrae. What's up, man? How are you doing?
No, I'm doing just about as good as everyone else. These are tough times, very tough times. And like you said, I kind of know exactly what everyone's kind of going through. I guess I was in the house for 84 days of isolation. On top of that, I had over 100 plus days of being sequestered altogether. I understand that this is no joke. So I'm thanks for having me, I guess.
Well, I'm thrilled to have you. Let me start with this. Even though you've gone through Big Brother, this is obviously very, very different. How are you doing? And do you think your experience in Big Brother has kind of helped you during the stay-at-home order?
I mean, I'm doing fine. I also I have a job right now. I'm an essential worker, so technically I work at a gas station. I do the social media for a gas station, so yeah. I mean, I can stay home and do that also. So I'm employed. That's what matters the most. But I think that, you know, the thing about me being on the show is it actually opened my eyes up to how miserable this will be for everybody. You know, I want to inspire some hope, but at first, I mean, come on. Like, the problem is that, like, when I was doing Big Brother, we were doing, you know, I'm there fighting for, you know, $500,000.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot easier to just stay home and not do anything when it's that much money. But on the other hand, it's a lot tougher because we didn't have internet. We didn't have books. We didn't have, you know, you can't communicate with your family. So there's things about it that are easier, but there's things about it that are tougher. So, I mean, yeah, I'm obviously super prepared. I've got all the things in the world. I've got all this TV to watch in the world. Yeah, this is like vacation for me, essentially. This is like, oh, everyone's on the same Big Brother time now. Everyone's, you know, lazying around and watching stuff. I love it.
I was going to say, I'm not quite sure. Are you Gen X or are you are millennial? Where are you?
Technically, I'm a millennial.
Okay.
I believe.
Are you?
Yes.
Because I was going to say there was a great article, McCray, that I read that said I'm a Gen Xer. I was born in '74. That Gen Xers, this is our time. Like, we were built. We were built to deal with this because we were latchkey kids and we were kind of the first. We were the first generation where moms went to work in mass numbers. So we had to make our own lunch and our own SpaghettiOs. And for me, I'm an only child, so I had to entertain myself. What are you pulling from your Big Brother experience to help you during this? Are there tools that you've learned?
Well, one of the things I used to always say that I'm a person that I just don't get bored. Like, people that are boring get bored.
Yeah.
I think like
I like that. I like that. Yes.
And like that's the thing where it's like, as long as like I'm a person that like when I got into that house, my whole goal was to like I'm gonna entertain everybody. I'm gonna have fun with everybody. I'm gonna like make games for people. So like I'm already been here in my house, like thinking up ways that I can make little games for me and my roommate to compete against each other to play in. You know, a little bit of healthy competition is always good. You know, one of the games that they used to play in the Big Brother house is just take a deck of cards and just throw them at a big bowl. Try to get them in the bowl. You know, like just little stupid things like that. It can like pass the time. It's like it gets your mind off thing. You can just, excuse me.
We can edit it out. That's the glory of these shows. That will be edited out when it hits air. Yes.
So like, yeah, I mean, just like creating little games, creating little things to do. You know, if you guys have a backyard, go out there and start like gardening, even just like throwing sticks around, whatever. But like the thing about being in quarantine like this is like you got to change up your perspective.
Yeah.
Like anytime you're just sitting like staring blankly at something, you have to get up, move, get around. You know, in the Big Brother house, it's a very limited space, so there's not much space. So I'm guessing it's going to be like everyone's going to kind of feel the pressure of being in a small space, even now in quarantine, in your apartments, in your houses. But get out, you know, go enjoy some sunshine. Everyone's got to do that. But the other thing is, yeah, if you're feeling the boredom, get up, stand up, do something else. You got to you got to change your perspective. Otherwise, you can get into a rut. And you see it on Big Brother. You see these people like just get into like a bad headspace and like people get angry. People start getting in fights, arguments. Like I'm gonna guess are gonna start seeing more and more of this online because everyone's just like that's what makes Big Brother good. Is everyone's like in a pressurized chamber, you know. So now in the world, everyone's in the pressurized chamber. So be the person that is gonna have fun. Be the person that's gonna make other people smile. You know, be the one that people want to be around because no one wants to be around a sad sap. You know, no one wants a sad sack. You know, like you gotta just step it up.
On that note, I was reading, I think it was in the Atlantic or somewhere, that this is going to usher in an era of baby boom, another baby boom, because people have nothing else to do, if you catch my meaning. And it's going to ramp up the number of divorces. And I mean, we can chuckle at that, but you basically, it can happen because you are stuck in a house with someone where you're used to having moments where they're gone.
Space. Yes,
yeah.
Absolutely. And that's the other thing about, I mean, being in Big Brother, you're stuck with people 24/7, nonstop. Like, you probably have never been around your spouse that much, you know, 24/7, 7 days a week. So, like, yeah, that's the thing is, like, it's going to get personal fast.
Yeah.
It's going to get very emotional very quickly. But, like, it's very crucial for people to just take a step back, realize the situation we're in, laugh about how crazy this is. What a weird situation we're all in.
Yeah.
And, you know, just kind of take it day by day because that's all you can do.
But Greg, can you tell folks? I was reading the story, and I know people are probably staying away from a lot of news at this point. Explain about the season of Big Brother that's going on or was going on, where they came out of the house and they came out of the house into a pandemic.
Yes. So, actually, yeah, Big Brother Canada started somewhere like early March, I believe, March 3rd, I think. They were in the house. At one point during the house, or during their stay, they got the notification like, oh yeah, this is going down. Like, usually the thing about Big Brother is they don't allow outside information to enter the house just because they want it to be like a sterile playing field. And like, this is the one time Endemol, who's the parent company of all Big Brother games, they actually gave the like order to all of these games, and to everyone has to tell the house guests that the coronavirus is going on. So this is unprecedented. The only time this has ever happened was in 9/11 when there's Big Brother players in the house and one of the persons was in it. It was like, this is just like unprecedented. So they pretty much were like, at a certain point, they had to just call the show. It sounded like people were walking off a set, like the crew was, because there was unsafe conditions. And they had to go, you are all in quarantine right now. We're kicking everybody out. There's no winner. All the money is being donated to COVID research. And everyone just had to like pack up and go home. It's very wild. I've been talking to some of the players. They are crushed. And it's surreal to me. It's so weird to like, okay, you were just in a sequester and now you have to walk out and the world is sequestered. Imagine going there, everything is fine in the world, and then you come out and the world has completely changed. You will feel like an alien. It's so surreal.
I thought, I'm like, I can't, it's hard enough for us who we were in the real world, and then like that, and, really, I mean, restaurants were closed and theaters were closed and work was closed. But for those folks, what a shock.
Very, very odd. Yeah. And I've been talking to them and they have been, that's what they pretty much are saying. Just like, this is insane. It's so weird. I feel bad they're not getting their like people, their adoration from their hordes of fans, it's weird. But I was telling them like, you are a part of something that will never happen again, probably.
Ever.
Something that like, yeah, like you are a part of the zeitgeist of our pop culture, like, this is unprecedented, and you guys got to be a part of it. Like, I was just trying to, help them a little bit, but I feel bad for him. And,
yeah.
The thing about it is, like, they were probably safer in that house, to be honest.
I was going to say, they probably are.
Yeah, it's so self-contained there, and there's such, like, people come in to, like, set up competitions and stuff like that. That's, like, the only place that cross-contamination could happen, I guess. But that's the crazy part, is, like, they were probably the safest in there than anywhere else in the world.
Crazy. Well, my friend, will you come back and join us this week? Because we're going to be doing these at-home shows, I think, probably into the summer. So please come back.
Yes, absolutely. I'll come in. I'll talk about anything you want to.
Thank you, buddy. Yeah. Everybody at home, clap for our friend. It's with Prey. That's right. We're gonna take a break. Don't forget to follow the Prey on social media. We'll put it right down there. We're gonna take a break and we'll be back. And welcome back to the Jason Show Home Edition. I'm Jace. Again, as I said at the top of the show, I just want to thank all of you. I love you on a normal day. I love you on a normal day in April, a normal April, for supporting our show. I really appreciate all of the support that we are getting for us, for our staff, for my colleagues at Fox 9. I can't stop feeling pride for everyone that I work with. I tweeted this a couple of days ago. I am very proud to work at Fox 9, and I will say that every day. They're doing really good work. If you're watching us locally in the Twin Cities, that's our home station. I'm very proud, but no matter where you're watching us from, I know it's fashionable in some circles to bust on the media, and sometimes we deserve the criticism, but I'll say it again and I'll say it loudly. I'm very proud of the great journalism that's taking place right now. And I also want to do a shout out, and I probably will every day during this crisis. I want to send nothing but love to the people on the front lines, the healthcare workers, the educators, the grocery store workers, the factory workers, the plumbers, all of you that are on the front lines. Thank you. Thank you for literally risking your own lives to keep this country going. Thank you so much. And very, very, very grateful and full of love for all of you, especially you healthcare workers. I live in the North Loop. You've seen those stories. We go out on our porch every night at 7 and bang our pots. I have nurses in my life. My Aunt Kathy was a nurse for many years. So I have nothing but love and extreme gratitude. I'm telling you, when we get through this, there's a lot of things I'm no longer going to take for granted. That's going to do it for us. Go out there and be yourself, because no one can tell you you're doing it wrong. Thanks for watching and stay safe. We'll see you tomorrow.